The Miami Dolphins finally are in the win column. A 27-21 home win against the New York Jets. Miami moves to 1-3. The Jets go to 0-4. Their rivalry jerseys were worn for the first time, and the Dolphins pay it off with a big-time win. And we're going to go through the entire stats, the injury news, and everything that came from this Monday Night Football victory. I am Nick Roloff, but we would have to begin with the biggest story of the evening, which was the injury to Tyreek Hill. Tyreek Hill suffered a knee injury in the third quarter after picking up a massive third down conversion to keep a drive alive following a kick-off fumble that was recovered by Miami. Tyreek Hill was immediately put onto a cart, aircast, and taken to the hospital. Ian Rapoport reported that it has been diagnosed early on as a dislocated knee. Now, this means a lot of different things. Now, if you are in a positive light, a dislocated knee could have someone return from 3 to 6 weeks. If that's the mildest dislocated knee possible. If it is as bad as it looked, it can be multiple months and even over a year. I don't know what is going to happen. We'll have more information in the next 24 hours in all likelihood. But the injury looks so severe and so painful, you'd have to imagine it is the latter, and we will not be seeing Tyreek Hill the rest of the year. It was a gruesome-looking injury. His knee gets stuck in the grass, gets bent the wrong way, being tackled out of bounds, and then he grabs his knee, and it almost is like a Kevin Ware compound fracture type of injury where you see a bone almost sticking outside of his knee. And it's not like it's in the front part of his knee. It's like on the outside of his knee. It's a very scary-looking injury that makes me feel queasy, and it makes me sad for Tyreek because he has been the best player on the Dolphins over the last 3 years. And it's unfortunate to see him get hurt that way. I know I've said that I would trade him, and he's likely not going to be here next season because of that $52.8 million cap hit. But you still never want to see a guy get hurt like that. And this was a pivotal piece of this Dolphins offense. I mean, he was phenomenal today. 3 third down conversions, all 8 yards or longer that Tua found him on. And he just really elevates this Dolphins offense into a different way because him and Jayen Waddle as a duo just create so much havoc with their speed and verticality that without him, this Dolphins offense is going to see some changes. You're going to see more Nick Westbrook-Keeney. You're going to see more Malik Washington, more Darren Waller. We'll get into that here in just a second, and we'll have more on how the Dolphins offense will likely look after the injury details are announced, and we have more information in the next couple of days. But I just want to show Tyreek Hill some love because it sucks that the first Dolphins win of the season can't really be celebrated to the highest degree that we normally would because of this injury. So spam 10s down in the comment section. I've been super critical of them. I know some of you guys have been as well, but you never want to see this injury. So get down in the comments and spam 10 to wish Tyreek Hill a speedy recovery. But now that we've gotten the somber injury news out of the way, I do want to speak a lot about the positives because if you're a Dolphins fan, you should feel pretty good about the way this football team is trending. And I know you're playing the Jets at home, an 0-3 team coming into today that has not looked good. It didn't look good today. 3 turnovers forced. We'll talk about that a little bit. And Fields very up and down. But listen, you had 3 straight divisional games against the Patriots, Bills, and Jets, and you got better every single week. Should you have beat the Patriots? I would argue yes. Should you have even beaten the Bills? I would say yes, because you would have had the ball back tied in the fourth quarter if Zach Sealer doesn't run and rough the punter. But nonetheless, the Dolphins have gotten better. It was an embarrassing output in Week 1 against the Colts. There is no debating that. But over the last 12 quarters, the Dolphins have gotten gradually better every single quarter. They fell down 12-0 early at home to New England. And ever since that moment, they have been outscoring opponents. Think about this. Ever since falling down 12-0 to New England, they have outscored their opponents very minimally, but they have done it. They got outscored 52-48 since that moment, but then outscored the Jets today. So you're starting to put up points. It's 3 straight games of 27, 21, 27 points. Defensively, you finally held a team under 30 points after giving up 33, 33, 31. You just give up 21 today. Defense played very well for the most part. But you have to start when talking about this Dolphins offensive attack about the efficiency of Tua. He was really good today. And you give credit where credit's due. I've been critical of him, very much so. And I don't think my changes long-term have changed on Tua, but he finally did not put the ball in harm's way. I don't think I would chart one turnover-worthy play from this game. And if there was, I'll have to rewatch the film because off just quick memory, I don't think he put the ball in harm's way once. So that's a big plus considering he had 4 interceptions through the first 3 games of the season. He was efficient. He found his man. And you got to credit where Mike McDaniel, man. Mike McDaniel was awesome today. Some of the play designs, the play calling, the timely calls of a RPO to Julian Hill coming across the flat, committing to running the football. I really was impressed by Mike McDaniel today. In real talk, the last 2 games on primetime, Thursday night against the Bills, Monday night against the Jets, Mike McDaniel's brought it, man. He has brought it. His play design has been awesome. His play calling has been awesome. In 3rd and short, in these situations, he is committed to the run. He has not abandoned the run. As bad as I want him gone, you have to give him credit for how he has adjusted, how hard this Dolphins team has played in the last 2 games on prime time to try to save their season. And you understand why Stephen Ross and this Dolphins ownership group may be a little bit more patient with Mike McDaniel and Chris Grier throughout this year, to where I still think they should be fired following the season. That is not changing. But in terms of firing them mid-season, it would have to take probably an absolute disaster and another falling apart moment for him to ultimately be canned halfway through the year. But you did lean on the run game, and Devon Achane was sensational today. About 5 yards per carry, 4.9999999 if we're being exact. Had a rushing touchdown and a great play design where Tua turns left, fakes like they went the wrong way, ultimately tosses it, has Achane in space with Ingold blocking. Good block by Ingold. Achane cuts upfield and is in the end zone with a couple big misses. He was great today. And yes, he put the ball in the dirt in the 4th quarter. It was recovered, disaster averted. If that goes the other way, we probably have a different conversation on Achane's night, but it didn't. And bounced Miami's way, which is a good thing for once. And the Dolphins picked up a big win. But this is the top 5 back in football. Achane's been awesome. You didn't really see much of Ollie Gordon today at all. 6 carries for 10 yards. Certainly not his most efficient output after me clamoring all week to see him have more playing time. I still stand by that, and he definitely did. You didn't see Jalen Wright once today. You saw only Gordon. You saw only Achane, and it's probably going to be that way. Those are your 2 backs, and Gordon did a lot of nice things in the run game and blocking game as well to not warrant any conversation about taking him off the football field. Just really didn't have any good running lanes today. But it's not going to change my thoughts on Ollie Gordon. The running game for Miami continues to tick up. And I'll have to look more at it, but I thought the offensive line was awesome today. Jets' defensive line in front hasn't been good this year. Been a bottom 10 defense and run defense in football. But I don't really think the offensive line got blowed up. Thought Patrick Paul had another good day. Cole Strange started at right guard for Miami today, and he was awesome. I think the former first-round pick from Chattanooga is going to be in line for more playing time in this Dolphins right guard system, especially since we're going to have James Daniels out next week again. Remember, James Daniels is eligible to return from IR in Week 6 against the Chargers, but he's going to be out next week against Carolina, and I would expect Cole Strange to get that start. And the rest of the offensive line was pretty solid as well. More to come, specifically on Darren Waller and the defense, but get started with Prize Picks today. You and I make decisions every single day. The right decisions on Prize Picks can get you paid because it's good to be right on Prize Picks. Prize Picks is the only app that offers stacks, meaning you can pick the same player up to 3 times in the same lineup. Want to pick more on Achane's receptions, touchdown, rushing yards? You can do all of that in the same lineup only on Prize Picks. You can also follow other Prize Picks players directly on the app and copy their lineups in one click, whether it's a friend, a celebrity partner, or just someone who picks you like. Hit the follow button and check out every lineup they create in the new feed tab on Prize Picks. I did not go 4 for 4 like I needed to in this game. I went 2 for 4. Ironically enough, I got the 2 Jets players right, more than Breece Hall rushing yards and Garrett Wilson receiving yards. But Achane on his first carry got 3 yards because he slipped and fell. That was a heartbreaking dagger. And Jayen Waddle had more on 49.5 receiving yards at 48. Tough losses for me. Could have went either way. Game of inches, they say in football. Either way, download the Prize Picks app today. Use code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. That's code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. Prize Picks. It's good to be right. I mean, how about the MVP of today's game? I mean, are you serious, Darren Waller? Like, there's nothing that makes me happier than when I have a take and it just gets shoved back right at me instantly. And I make 2 videos every day. Over damn near 700 videos a year on this channel, including 3 live shows a week. I'm going to be wrong on a lot of things. I said the Dolphins should cut Darren Waller because he felt like he was never going to see the field for Miami. And it was like a Will Fuller, Odell Beckham Jr. situation all over again. Well, the wait and the patience we had to exercise to see Waller in a Dolphins uniform was worth it because he had 3 receptions. All of them were big time. 2 touchdowns, and he even had the recovery on the onside kick to close out the game late in the 4th. I mean, Darren Waller on the first 3rd and long Miami faced, it was 3rd and 5. Darren Waller one-on-one with a safety, it's a little in route, 14-yard gain, move the chains. Later on in that first quarter, or second quarter, 4th and 5, 4th and 6 from the 6-yard line, goal, had to have it. Perfectly floated ball. Waller uses a 6'6" frame, goes up, high points it, catches it with 2 defenders around him, and gets 2 feet in for the Dolphins touchdown to go up 10-0. And then later on in this second half, Dolphins up 17-10, driving down the field, play action, bootleg, Waller unguarded in the end zone for another touchdown. He was phenomenal. And his speed and size is going to be a mismatch nightmare for teams that do not possess the personnel required to guard him. The Jets, missing their linebacker 2, their linebacker 3, did not have the personnel to defend Darren Waller. Most teams do not. If he is able to stay healthy and stay mentally sharp, a 6'6" tight end that moves the way he does is going to provide Miami with a lot of versatility offensively, which they will absolutely need in every part of the game with Tyreek Hill out. Tyreek Hill gone, you're going to have to see Darren Waller step up. You're going to have to see Malik Washington step up. Nick Westbrook-Ikini step up. Because Jayen Waddle is going to be borderline double covered every play with safety help. So you're going to need Waller to win his one-on-one matchups. You're going to need Malik to do that. You're going to need Nick Westbrook-Ikini to make some plays from time to time. Tyreek Hill being out is not ideal for Miami to try to stack some wins here over the next month when they have an easy schedule, but Waller looking as good as he did today provides me with some hope and optimism that they'll be able to minimize the loss of Tyreek Hill. Make sure you are subscribed to the channel because we're putting out daily content live for every game, live the day after, live on Thursdays. We're under 100 subscribers away from 76K. Hit that sub button. Lock us in for nonstop videos every single day. Before we sign off today, let's talk about the defense here. They finally made plays. I mean, we talk a lot about why the Dolphins have won games, why the Dolphins have lost games. You want a simple answer on why they won today? Outside of being efficient offensively, you won the turnover battle. You forced 3 turnovers. You had 0. The Dolphins were -5 in turnover advantage through the first 3 weeks of the year. Bottom 5 in the NFL. They were one of the only teams to not force a takeaway defensively through the first 3 weeks of the season. You were able to do it twice. On defense, 1 on special teams. It was a 3-phase game today. You played efficient offensively and didn't turn the ball over. You forced a turnover on special teams, and you forced 2 on defense. I mean, who knows how differently this game would go if Jack Jones doesn't peanut punch the ball out of Braylon Allen's arms in the first quarter when he was about to lunge in the end zone at the 1-yard line. But Jack Jones, the extra effort play, gets his hand on that ball and knocks it out, and Minkah Fitzpatrick recovered. That was a massive momentum-changing play, which allowed Miami to get the ball, go on a 96-yard touchdown drive, and start up 10-0 rather than being down 7-3, looking to answer a Jets opening drive touchdown. You could argue that won the game for Miami. Who knows how this goes? It was awesome. You obviously got the 4th down strip sack by Tyrell Dodson, and then you got the opening play of the second half, fumble recovered by Dante Trader Jr. I mean, you could also make the argument that special teams won you this game. Riley Patterson was nails once again. 2 for 2 on field goals, both in the 40-yard range. 47 yards and 36 yards. 3 for 3 on extra points. You did an excellent job in punt coverage. Excellent job in kick return coverage. Like, you returned good kicks. Like, you just won the special teams game. You won special teams. You won offense. You won defense. When you win the turnover battle, you play all 3 phases of the games with no mistakes, and you're the least penalized team as well, that'll get you wins. The Jets were poorly coached today. 11, 12 penalties. You had the better coach. You had the better team. You had the better quarterback. I mean, you win games like that. Tua played much better than Justin Fields. You don't get a lot of Dolphins wins this year, and you don't get a lot of victory Mondays throughout the year. Tuesday it's going to be. Spam those W's down in the comment section. Let them fly, baby. I love making them fly like little doves. Shout out those W's in the chat. I wanted to quickly show this. Listen, it's another reason why you should subscribe. I'm going to humble brag here. You know how hard it is to correctly predict the score? Watch the video we put out Monday morning, if you didn't believe me, before the game. Watch our pregame video or pregame tailgate stream before the game kicked off. I said Dolphins win 27-21. Listen, I know things, man. Was I wrong about Darren Waller and his impact instantly for Miami? Sure. But I was right about this game. And I'm feeling like there might be some momentum building for Miami. If they're able to mitigate the loss of Tyreek Hill offensively, there are games they can win in the month of October. They play 5 games this month. Next Sunday against the Panthers. Following Sunday at home against the Chargers, who are likely going to be without Joel. And they just lost in New York to the Giants. Then you play in back-to-back week the Browns and Falcons. Those are winnable games. And then you return home to play the Ravens on Thursday Night Football, a team that is 1-3, look terrible defensively, and Lamar Jackson's banged up right now. I am not saying they will win a certain amount of those games. I am just merely telling you they have the possibility and ability in front of them with 5 games in October to rattle off wins, start a streak, and get themselves right in the playoff hunt when we get into play this upcoming November. And we'll ultimately see how it plays out, but the opportunity is there in front of them. Make sure you follow me over on Twitter at Nick_Roloff. When Tyreek Hill has an official update tomorrow, we will have a video on that and an update on my Twitter beforehand. So go follow me right now at Nick_Roloff.